Okay, so what I have a look at now is just a couple more synthetic division problems and just refine the setting up process, okay? So we're going to do exactly the same principle. So we'll get our coefficients of our term in through here. So the coefficients of these, so 1, -1, -3, and 1. So I've got 1, make that a bit higher. So let's just go with 1, -1, -3, and 1. And the negative of the term in the bracket, which in this case would be +1. And I'm going to treat the process, I want to show you the thought process involved by treating the coefficient of x as 1, so that when we come across here to do the coefficient of x being 2, we can do the same sort of thing, okay? So what we do, let's just do as we have been in the past. Let's bring our coefficient of our number down, which is 1. The first step, divide by the coefficient of x, which in this case is 1. So we still get 1. Multiply by 1, which is here. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay? Add them together, I get 0. Divide by that coefficient there, which is 1. So 0 over 1 is still 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Add them. -3 plus 1 is -2. Divide by that 1 there, which is still 1, so it's still -2. Then multiply by 1, -2 comes across. We add together and we get a remainder of 1. Okay, so we can stop there. All right, we wouldn't do the division even. So that means that there's my remainder. So if you like, if we want to have columns, which sometimes doesn't hurt, okay, so there's my remainder here. There's my my constant, my x coefficient, my x squared coefficient. So I get x squared plus x minus 2 with a remainder of 1. So I could write that as x squared plus x minus 2 plus 1 over x minus 1. So that's pretty much what we've been doing in class. So we spoke a little bit of how we consider it working with, we've got a coefficient of x as being 2. So what we do, slightly different to what I was talking about. Setting up process is the same. Okay. The constant out of the term here is still -1, but instead we think about this 2 as, I guess, a dividing by 2 line. Okay. So first step, we bring the 1 down. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. Then multiply by -1, and I get -1/2 up here. Okay, add these together. So I get 6 on 2 minus 1 on 2, which is 5 on 2. Divide that number by 2, which gives me 5 on 4. Then multiply by that -1, and I get -5 on 4. Okay. Add these together. So -5, well, that's the same as -20 on 4. -20 plus -5 is -25 on 4. Divide by the divide by 2, which makes it -25 on 8. Multiply by -1, which gives me 25 on 8. Okay. So then I add those together. So 7 is the same as 56 on 8. 56 on 8 plus 25 on 8 is equal to 81 on 8. So again, here's my terms are here. Okay, so I get my result is 1/2 x squared plus 5 on 4x minus 25 on 8 with the remainder of 81 on 8, which means I can write it as 1/2 x squared plus 5x on 4 minus 25 on 8 plus 81 over 8 times 2x plus 1. So the key is there really, boys, is just if you have that extra term, if you have that coefficient of x there, okay, so we still treat the negative sign, the one the same, we put a negative 1 out the front. So we've got a negative 1 out the front from there, but we do that divide by 2 because of this term here, okay? So let's just keep practicing those, and we'll use the process a bit more throughout the rest of the content anyway.